So what we're going to cover in this lesson is how we can use the CreatedAtRoute to generate the correct response or return a 201 created when we add resource to a server. And we need to think about where is our resource going to be located. So our location for getting the photos is going to be our user. So we want to say, yeah, you can go and get the photo, but you're going to need to go here. But what we also want to do is make sure that we return the photo in the body of the request as well. So we've got options for this. And what we'll do is we'll go back and inside here, we're not going to return directly from this. We need to wrap this in something. And what we want to return, let's just cut this and put it inside the statement. And what we want to return from this is, let's just comment this out for the time being, so we can focus on what we're returning. So we're going to return created, or we'll type created, and these are all of our different options that return a 201 created result. And we've got CreatedAction, CreatedAtRoute, and CreatedResult. So let's give this created one a go. Now what we need in here is a string for the URI and an object value. And that's not quite what we're looking for, because how do we get this URI? Let's see what other overloads we have in here, and the other one's a URI object of URI and the object value. Both of those seem tricky to use. What we do have is another option, and what we can use is CreatedAtRoute. And if we take a look at the overloads for this one, we've got a string of the route name and the object value. Another overload is the object route values and the object value. And another one is a string of the route name, object route values, and object value. The first one seems to be one that we could get away with using. We're going to have a string of the route name, and the route name in this case we're going to use our getUser method for, and then we can just pass back the photo DTO as the second parameter. So let's give this a go. And what we need to do to achieve this is we need to give our route a name. Our getUser, we're going to have to give this a name. So what we can do after the quote marks, we can specify a name, and we're going to set this equal to getUser. And then we can use this route name as one of the parameters in the CreatedAtRoute. So we can specify the route name and we'll say getUser, and then we can pass back our photo DTO. Or in fact, what we need to pass back is our mapped object. So I'm just going to copy this and paste it in here. And we'll remove the semicolon there and put it after the closing bracket. So now we're going to return a 201, and we're going to return the route of how to get the user, which contains the photos, and we're going to still return our photo object. So let's just remove that, and what we'll do is we'll head back to Postman, we'll add another photo, and make sure we get the correct response in the location headers. So let's pick another photo, and I'm going to select 1 to 3 this time, and click on Send. And that's disappointing because it says no route matches the supplied values. So we've got an issue here because our route name, our getUser, well, this takes a parameter, and that's what it's complaining about. It's saying we've got a route here for getUser, but we haven't supplied the username. So what we need to do is we need to use a different overload of CreatedAtRoute. And I'm just going to comment this one out just so I can get a reminder of the parameters. So we'll say CreatedAtRoute, and then let's take a look at the overloads. So the first one didn't work because our route name takes parameters in the route parameters. So let's take a look at the second one. Objects, route values, and object value, that's not going to work. And the third one, where we supply the string of the route name, then we supply an object with the route values, and then we can send back the object. So we're going to have to use this overload in this case. So I'm just going to remove that and uncomment this code. I only did that so I didn't have to delete all of this, because the easiest way to find out a method's overloads is to open a set of parameters. There's no better way of doing it really. So in the third overload we had the route name, and then the second parameter was the route values, and that's what we're going to put inside here. Now this takes an object, so what we're going to have to do is provide this as an object, And what we're going to do is say username equals user.username. And that could be lowercase actually, because that is the name of our root parameter, and this is what we're going to set it to. And let's give this a go. So we'll go back to Postman and we'll repeat this request and click on send. And we'll try that again while the server's thinking about it. And this time we get success. We get the correct response back, we get the 201 created, and if we take a look at the headers, then what we have in here is a location header. And we tell our client where to go to get the image that we've uploaded. Now, the image is going to be in a collection of photos for Lisa, but since we're not allowing individual photo requests, then this is going to be fine. And now we're doing the correct response for adding a new resource. So with this in place, we can move forward and we can take a look at our client side and see what we need to do there to upload an image.